Today we are going to Stourhead Manor and Gardens, Old Sherborne Castle, and Old Wardour Castle. They're all about 40 minutes away from each other, starting from Bradford, so prepare for some extra driving. Stourhead is a Palladian mansion that was completed in 1725 and is situated on 2,650 acres of beautiful English countryside. It was the home of the Hoare family. The gardens were first opened in the 1740s and were described then as a living work of art. The central focus of the garden is the lake, around which are meandering paths and enormous trees. The planting of the trees and gardens surrounding the lake took a group of 50 gardeners. Along the path there are signs that have poetry describing how visitors felt in Stourhead Gardens and give the opportunity to pause, notice, and reflect the beauty around you. Stourhead is considered one of England's best landscape gardens. There are many structures to appreciate and explore along the path, including a replica of the Pantheon, the Palladian-style bridge, the Apollo Temple, and the Flora Temple, and my favorite, the Grotto. The grotto had a statue of a nymph and a river god, and a beautiful fountain creating the sound of running water. It is part underground, and there is a window so you can see the surface of the lake. Then there are steps leading back to the path. As we were taking the steps up, I saw there was a hole in the wall. Me being me, I decided to check it out. I barely fit and it was very cramped. It was a soggy passage of a bit of water. I got a flashlight and went in, and it led behind the statue of the river god inside the cave. Here we are in the Stourhead Garden with the Palladian bridge and the recreation of the Pantheon behind us on the lake. We enjoyed a picturesque walk around the Stourhead Garden, and then we enjoyed a visit at the manor house. I suggest coming to Stourhead because it is very picturesque. Inside the mansion, there are many works of art, painting and sculptures, and Chippendale furniture. This painting is of Henry Hoare II, Henry the Magnificent, who finished Stourhead House and Gardens, and his grandson, Richard Colt Hoare. The library is one of the finest Regency libraries in Britain. There are 6,500 volumes, some measuring several feet tall. One of the finest pieces of art in the entire house is the Pope's Cabinet. It was acquired in Rome and was originally built for Pope Sixtus V. It is intricately carved and painted and is inlaid with semi-precious stones. The Pope's Cabinet is the subject of possibly the longest book ever written about a single piece of furniture. There are also many original paintings with custom-made frames that hang in the house, including in the room that was built to mimic the galleries in Italian homes. After seeing the beautifully preserved Stourhead, we go to the ruins of Old Sherborne. Sherborne Old Castle was built in the 12th century for the bishop. At one time it was the home of Sir Walter Raleigh. It was destroyed during the English Civil War in 1645. Inside you can still see some of the architectural details. Here we are on the front lawn of Old Wardour Castle. It was built in the early 1500s, but most of it was blown up in the English Civil War. You can tour the remains today, and there are great views from the top, including the grottos outside, the lake, and New Wardour Castle. Even though it's kind of a long drive, I think it's worth the trip, and it's a good end of your evening. If you're trying to go on this trip on Sunday, make sure you have a plan. It was hard to find food, and finally for dinner we settled the Cordero Lounge in Frome. It was pretty good, and it even allowed dogs. We enjoyed a day full of gardens, manors, and old castles. It took a long time. You could easily spend a day in Stourhead, but give yourself at least 3 to 4 hours. Give yourself an hour each for Old Sherborne and Old Wardour. We will get up in the morning to go to Bath, so we'll see you there. Hope you guys enjoyed. Keep watching all the other videos. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications. Feel free to leave any questions in the comments below. See you in the next video.